Hello everyone and welcome back to this Python programming course where you are going to learn everything you need to get started programming in Python. For the next two videos of this series, we are going to work on multiple projects which will enable us to put to practice all what we've learned up to this point. In this video, we are going to be implementing the concepts of conditional statements, looping structures, input and output, strings, and lists in Python. So let's jump right into it. In this video, we will be going through 4 practical exercises enabling us to address the topics I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So this is the first exercise and we have the program, then we have the instructions. So we will just go forward to writing the code. For this first exercise, we have write a Python program which iterates the integers from 1 to 50. For multiples of 3, print 3 multiple instead of the number, and for multiples of 5, print 5 multiple. For numbers which are multiples of both 3 and 5, print 3 and 5. So basically, we are to write a program to iterate from 1 to 50, printing all numbers. But once a number is a multiple of 3, instead of printing that number, we print 3 multiple. And if the number is a multiple of 5, we print 5 multiple. If a number like 15, 30 is a multiple of both 3 and 5, we print 3 and 5 multiple. So these are the instructions, and therefore let's jump right into the coding. So what we will do is we will uncomment the steps to follow and we will put them as a one-line comment instead, so that as we have the comment, we have our code under. So that's how we will be working. As I earlier said, we will be using the steps to follow as comments in our code. So for the first one, we have write a for loop that will iterate numbers from 1 to 50, and for that you simply write your for loop for number in range 1 to 51, and we have done the first comment, write a for loop to iterate from numbers 1 to 51. At this point, I think we can delete this comment. The next one, we have write an if condition to verify if the number is divisible by 3 and 5. So we have if number mod 3 is equal to 0 and number mod 5 is equal to 0, then at this point we have number is divisible by 3 and 5. So we can remove this comment and move to the next one. Here we are asked print the message 3 and 5 multiple that will be displayed instead of the number. We have print 3 and 5 multiple, and we can remove this comment. Then we have write the second condition to verify if the number is divisible by 3. So here we have elif number mod 3 equals to 0. So I will remove the comment. Then we have print the message 3 multiple that will be displayed instead of the number. We have print 3 multiple, and I can remove the comment. Next, write a third condition to verify if the number is divisible by 5. So we have elif number mod 5 equals to 0. So the next step is print the message 5 multiple that will be displayed instead of the number. That's it. We have print 5 multiple. Then we have write an else statement to print the numbers that do not fulfill the above conditions. So all the other numbers which are neither multiple of 3, 5 nor both should just be printed to the screen. So we have our else statement to print them, else, and then finally we print the numbers that do not fulfill the condition by simply printing number. So at this point I can remove the final comment and we will launch our code to see the output. You save the code and then you run, and we have 1, 2, 3 multiple, 4, 5 multiple. After 5 is 6, 6 is a multiple of 3. Then we have 7, 8, 9 being a multiple of 3, we have 3 multiple. Then 10 we have 5 multiple, 12 3 multiple, then 15 we have 3 and 5 multiple, and so on. So this is basically what this program was supposed to do. With this program, we've tested our ability to work with looping structures and conditional statements. So without wasting time, let's move to the next exercise. For this second exercise, we will have to write a Python program that accepts a string and calculate the number of digits and letters. So the instructions go as follows. We'll be using each instruction as comments for our code. So first we have to declare a variable to store the string entered. So basically what we are asked to do in this program is to accept a string and determine the number of digits and letters that are found in a string. Maybe if we enter something like number 3, there is 1 digit, so the program should be able to return 1 to tell us that there is only 1 digit, and 6 to tell us that there are 6 letters in the string. So that's what the program is supposed to do. So as first step, we are to declare a variable to store the string entered. So here we have s equals to input a string to enable the user to enter a string. Then we have declare variables to store the number of digits and letters in the string and initialize them to 0. We have digit equals to 0, letter equals to 0. With this we can move to the next step, which is write a for loop to iterate through each characters in the string. So we simply have for I in S, which is our string. So next we have write an if condition to verify if the character is a digit using the isDigit method. If I is digit, then the next step is then increment the number of digits by 1. Digit plus equals to 1. So we can move to the next step. Write an elif condition to verify if the character is an alphabet using the isAlpha method. So we will do the same thing here and increment the number of letters by 1. We later on have to write an else statement to be executed if the above conditions are not fulfilled. So we simply have else pass. So we can remove this comment. As the final step in our code, we have to use the print statement to print out the number of letters and digits in the word respectively. So for that, we simply use print statements to print them out. So we have print the number of letters in your string is letter and the number of digits in your string is digits. At this point, I can remove this last comment and we can save and run our code. So we save and we run. We are asked to input a string output number 5, and I have the number of letters in your string is 6 and the number of digits in your string is 1. Therefore, our code works perfectly. So with this code, we've been able to test our ability to work with strings. We've been able to test our ability to work with the in range with the for loop, as well as isDigit and isAlpha. Then reiterating the aspect of incrementation. So we are moving to the third exercise. For exercise 3, we have to write a Python program to convert a month name to the number of days of that month. So when a user enters the name of a month, your program has to provide the number of days the month contains. So as we did for the previous videos, we will use the instruction as comment to guide us through our program. So the first instruction we have, print a list of months to show the user how the month names should look like. So the first step we have to do is we have to display to the screen the list of months from January to December in the appropriate format that we would like the user to input. So we simply use a print statement as follows. After printing the list of months from January to December, we can move to the next step where we are asked to declare a variable to store the names of the month entered by the user. For this, we will simply use a string to record the input from the user. So to do that, we have month name equals to input the name of the month. Next, we have our first condition, which is to verify if the month is February and display the number of days accordingly. So here we have if month name equals to February, print number of days 28 or 29 days. At this point, I can remove the above comments. And we move to the next part where we have the second condition to verify if the month entered is in the list of months having 30 days. So to do that, we have elif month name in a list containing the months April, June, September and November. That is, if the month name entered by the user falls in this range, in this list of months, then as the next step instructs, we have to print the number of days of that month being 30. So we print 30 days. Next we have our third condition to verify if the month entered is in the list of months having 31 days. So just as we did for the list of months having 30 days, we repeat the same process for the list of months having 31 days. So here we have earliest month name in the list: January, March, May, July, August, October, and December. So if that is the case, then we have to print the number of days of that month, as step 7 indicates. So we print 31 days, and I can wipe off these comments. Lastly, we have to print an else statement to print an error message if the user enters a wrong month name. So we simply have print wrong month name in an else. So I can wipe this off, and then we have our code. So if I save this and run, we have list of months: January, February, March till December. Input the name of the month. I say January, and I'll have number of days, 31 days. So that is basically what our program is supposed to do. Ask the user to enter the name of a month and print to the screen the number of days that month contains. So with this, we are done with this program, and without wasting time, let's move right to exercise 4. For this program, we have write a Python program to add ing at the end of a given string. Length should be at least 3. That is, the length of the string should be at least 3. If the given string already ends with an ing, then add ly instead. If the string length of the given string is less than 3, leave it unchanged. So here we have to add ing to a string entered by the user only if the string is more than 3 characters long, and if the string already contains an ing, we simply have to add ly at the end of the string. So let's follow the steps and have our program created. Step 1, we have to declare a variable to store the word entered by the user. So here we simply have word equals to input, enter a word. Next we have declare a variable that will store the length of the word, and for that we simply type length equals to length of word to be able to store the length of the word in the variable length. Next we have to write an if statement to verify if the length of the word is greater than 2. So we simply have if length greater than 2, because we said our string should be at least 3 characters long. So I'll wipe off the comments at this point before we move to the next stage. We have to print a nested if statement to verify if the last 3 characters of the word is equal to ing. So for that we have if word at index -3 to the n equals to ing. So word -3 to the n, as we saw in our videos, -3 means from the third to the last character to the n. So we have to test whether this is equivalent to ing, and if that's the case, then we move to the next stage, which is then add ly to the word entered and print the result. So here we have word plus equals to ly, then we print word. So I'll wipe this off. So we can continue. So the next step, we have add an else statement if the above nested condition is not fulfilled. So we have to add an else statement if the word does not contain an ing. So we have else word plus equals to ing, then we print the word to the screen. Then finally we have to add the ing word entered and type the result. That's what we did. So we can wipe this off. Lastly, we have to write an else statement that will do nothing if the length of the word is not greater than 2. So we simply have else and a pass, telling the compiler that it should do nothing once it reaches this point. So I'll wipe this, and we have our code complete. So if I save this and run, I am asked to enter a word. I'll enter greeting, and I'll have greetingly printed to the screen, saying that to our greeting they added ly. And if I do this again, if I run the code again and I enter a word, without ing, as in greet, I'll have greeting printed. So at this point, if I enter now a word which is less than 3 characters long, like no, I have nothing being done. My no is not modified. So this is basically it for this code. And in this code, we've been able to test our capacities on abilities to work with strings and string methods, then comparing strings as well, and using list options like the negative to work around lists from the end. And finally, we've also implemented control structure in our program. So this is basically it for this video. In our next video, we are going to move to second part of the project, that's project 2, where we'll be implementing the concepts of tuples, dictionaries, files, and modules that we've learned in our past videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope the live practical exercises were very exciting for you, and hope to see you in the next video. See you soon.